Hi, thanks for tuning in. Today I want to do the luxury time machine tag, or the luxury regrets and good decisions I've made. I believe this is a tag video that was started by Kat L, but I was tagged by the lovely Mel in Melbourne. I was super excited to be tagged by her to do this luxury tag video. I'll link Mel's video down below as well based on her video. I understand this tag to be sharing your 5 main luxury regrets and your 5 sort of good decisions or good purchases you've made. So I'm excited to do this video. Because I have to go through 10 different things, I'm going to jump right into it. I'll probably alternate between one bad and one good decision until we get through all 10. If you're tuning in for the first time, hi, I'm Katie. I like to make these luxury fashion videos here on YouTube. I share hauls and reviews, but at the end of the day, I share my journey so we can all mindfully curate our own collections. So if you like what you're seeing, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and leave a comment down below with your favorite part, the part that resonated the most with you. Because this is a tag video, I will also be tagging some more folks. Please check out the description box. But of course, if any of you want to do this video, feel free to use me as your tag. And I'd love to see your version on this kind of luxury time machine tag as well. If you hear a little humming in the background, it's because the AC is running. It is sweltering in New York City right now, so I hope you don't mind the humming. It shouldn't be too loud, but sometimes I hear it. If I keep talking, I think you won't notice it that much, so that's what I'm going to try to do. So my first luxury regret is going to be purchasing stilettos from luxury brands. I don't even think I have any offhand to really share right now, but I had gone through a period of my life when I was sort of early in collecting designer pieces where I would buy a lot of high heels. And I still try to wear them here and there, and I do know that I need to keep it to about 70 millimeters, otherwise the 100 millimeters or the 3-inch heels are just too high for me. My ankles cannot handle it anymore. And there are some shoes that are basically just sitting in their boxes because I am unable to really wear them. I will once in a while make an effort to really try them on, but I always have to bring another pair of shoes just in case my feet decide to give out on me. So now I know, I'm more wiser now and know not to get really high heels, even from brands that are known to be comfortable, mostly because I know I just won't wear them. I won't gravitate towards them. So now when I get luxury shoes, I tend to focus on a lower heel, if not sneakers. Like, I make sure that they're going to be comfortable shoes that I can wear for long periods of time. Otherwise, I know I'm not really going to wear them. My first good decision, the good thing that I did in building out my collection, was that I started purchasing Chanel pretty early on. And I was always interested in Chanel. I always loved their pieces. So I started out purchasing most of my Chanel handbags pretty early on, and it's more recent that I've actually expanded out into other brands and things like that. My first Chanel piece in my collection is actually this Half Moon wallet on chain right here, and it is actually now a discontinued style, which is really unfortunate because I love it so much. But I think the time that I got this, it was around like $1,500 US before tax, which is like half the price of a regular walk nowadays. So, but I've used it a ton and I feel like it still looks like it's in pretty good condition. No major issues or scratches or anything like that. So that's definitely my number one good decision, was that I started buying my Chanel stuff early. Okay, my second luxury regret is sort of getting wrapped up in the hype around these like limited edition collections. I feel like I've done a couple chatting in my closet videos around this topic, you know, around those like drops of limited edition collections and also like all these collaborations that are coming out. I have this Vivian notebook from Louis Vuitton. This was from the holiday illustration series from a couple years ago, and I was just really in love with the illustrations for that year because it was Vivian traveling to a whole bunch of different places. I just thought it was so cute, and I really wanted something from it, but I didn't need a wallet. I didn't need an SLG. Like I didn't know what to get. So then I opted to get this notebook, and I do use this notebook, but I don't use it like every day. I have other notebooks that I use for more everyday things. And so I feel like, I have it, but I didn't, I was a little wrapped up in trying to get something in this print, and that's why I feel like I have this in my collection. So this is one of those like, did you have to do that? Probably not moments. But I will make a point to continue using the notebook now that I have it in my collection. My second good decision is also around a Chanel piece, but this is a very specific piece that I feel like has been sort of getting a resurgence in popularity recently. And my second good decision is that I actually purchased my vintage vertical quilt, or I think this is also called like the Mademoiselle flap bag. I purchased this also really early. I think after my half moon walk, this was the second Chanel piece that I added to my collection. So it was pretty early on that I went ahead and added this. And at the time that I purchased it, it was vintage. Because it's from the early 90s, and so now it's just continuing to age beautifully. I even had a moment in time where I contemplated selling this piece because I wasn't wearing it a lot, and I'm so glad I didn't do that. Now I know the resale price of these has gone up tremendously because there's a lot more interest in it, and also just given the general price increases for Chanel, I feel like a lot of their vintage pieces have gone up as well. So that's my other kind of good decision that I made, was getting some of my vintage Chanel early as well, before they sort of also saw a crazy price hike. My third luxury regret is purchasing luxury swimwear. Some of you might feel like you've heard all of these before if you've watched a lot of my videos, because some of them are like recurring themes. But if you also watched my most recent like Fendi best and worst purchases, I mentioned the same thing there as well. But this is my Fendi swimsuit. So this sort of encompasses regret 2 and 3. So this was the limited edition California Sky collection from Fendi last summer. So I wanted something in that print, and that's how I ended up getting this swimwear piece. And if I were to go back and do it again, I don't think I would get a swimwear piece, is basically where I land. I go into more detail in my Fendi best and worst purchases video, so definitely check that out if you haven't. They're definitely nice swimsuits, but I just don't think it's worth that much. And I feel like there are other brands that specifically focus on like innovating in the swimwear space that I think it might be better. It's like better money spent there, because at least you'll get some of the innovation from those brands, versus, not to say that there's no innovation here, but you know what I mean. They don't specialize in swimwear, so it's sort of like, why would you get it from there? My third good decision is actually getting my first Birkin in a lovely color versus getting it in a neutral tone. This is my Birkin 30. It is in the Jaune Ombre color in Clemence leather and palladium hardware. And I have loved having this pop of color in my collection ever since I got it. And even when I was getting this piece, the essay was helping me at that time, was telling me how it is a seasonal color. It's a really unique color. She understands that a lot of people do want to get their handbags in neutral colors, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But a lot of times neutral colors will continue to come out like in the future, versus these kinds of seasonal colors will be relatively limited. They might not always produce another kind of Jean Ombre handbag. I'm really happy that I purchased this one in this pop of color. That makes me really happy, and I like wearing it. I also like that it is in a color that sort of challenges me to get creative in styling my outfits, versus if I were to have one that let's say was black, I might, style that as I would typically style a lot of my other outfits with other black handbags, but this one definitely poses a little bit of a challenge. But anyway, so I really love having it in this pop of color. I felt like that was a really good decision for me. I am looking to add, of course, more neutral tones to my Hermes handbag collection as well, but so far I'm super thrilled with starting out with some of the more colorful pieces. My fourth regret is actually a ready-to-wear piece. That is this Chanel t-shirt. Not just this piece specifically, it's a little bit of getting ready-to-wear that has a lot of really obvious branding. I have some other ready-to-wear pieces that are really branded as well, like from Dior, mostly from Dior, a little bit of Louis Vuitton maybe. This was just exorbitantly expensive, and that's why I think this one really stands out in my mind as one of those, what were you thinking? Why did you get that? Again, this might not be a surprise to some of you if you watched like my 2020 roundup video and best and worst Chanel purchases, but now again I'm more wiser and I find myself gravitating towards ready-to-wear pieces that I feel like are not so obvious all the time, because I feel like they'll have more longevity in my closet. Sometimes you're in the mood to be really branded and sometimes you're in the mood to be more covert, you know what I mean? So for me, I now know that I want to make sure I really evaluate that when I'm purchasing ready-to-wear, because these pieces are expensive and I want to wear them for a long time, and I want to make sure I get pieces that will have that kind of versatility and longevity in my closet. My fourth good decision that I've made is that I've built out my collection pretty holistically. So I haven't focused too much in one category before moving on to another one. I mean, my handbag collection is by far my most built out collection, but as I was purchasing handbags, sometimes I would purchase an SLG to go along with it. And I'd also purchase some classic shoes along the way. I'd also purchase some home bits, as you can see here, and as well as tableware. So I sort of parallel tracked a lot of the different areas to build out my collection in, and tried not to focus too much on having one section of it be like perfect before I moved on to the other one. Plus, like, I get a little bored sometimes, so I need like variety, I think, and that's why I would bounce between some categories. And a lot of times as I use things, I'll get more data points on what works and what doesn't work for me. So if I tried to build out my collection of just handbags, let's say, then I might not have had enough time to try out some things and make informed decisions later. My fifth regret is buying things that don't fit right. I feel like I do this a lot less now, but especially as I started building out my collection, I sort of ignore those kind of gut feelings of like, oh, I don't think this fits right, or maybe these shoes will be uncomfortable. I keep telling myself that it'll be okay. Either like I'll lose weight or I'll gain weight. Like, I'll make myself fit into it, or the shoes will give. Those famous last words, the shoes will give. Yeah, the shoes don't give, okay? The shoes will continue to torment your feet. If they don't feel good in the store, they're not gonna feel good once you're on the street. And I've definitely done that so many times. Like, I now trust my instincts a lot more, but I've made plenty mistakes along the way. So, and especially if you find something on sale, that's where it really starts to hit you, or at least hit me, because I'm like, oh, well, it's like a half size big, but it's gonna be okay, like it'll be fine and it's on sale. No, No, no. You want it to fit you right. So if it doesn't feel right, if it doesn't fit right, then it's okay. Do without. It's not the right fit. And if it doesn't fit right, you're not really going to enjoy using it necessarily. So that's a big learning that I've had that I feel like I do a lot less of. And then my fifth and final good decision that I've made is that I really stuck to buying things that I love. I sort of talked through this in my like tips for buying your first handbag, luxury handbag video. There are always going to be different opinions on a lot of things, right? Whether something's considered trendy or classic, whether something's considered durable or not, and whether this leather finish is better or that's better, or you should get a color or you should get a neutral. Like, there will always be lots of opinions on any single topic. While it's good to get a lot of information, sometimes it can be overwhelming, and sometimes it can be too much noise to try to like make your own decision. So I feel like it was really good that I stuck to what I liked. Sometimes I've made decisions that I learned from later. Sometimes I kind of took a risk and it turned out to be better than I'd expected. So that's something that I'm really happy that I did. That's something that I'm really proud that I did and I stuck to in building out my collection, because now I have pieces that I know I love and I got them because I loved them, and I know I will continue to use them and wear them. All right, so that was my luxury time machine tag. Thank you so much again, Mel, for tagging me. Again, I will list down in the description box below the other lovely folks that I want to tag to do this video. And if you want to share your thoughts in the comments down below, I'd love to hear what your best and worst decisions have been when it's come to building out your luxury collection. If you have any other questions on any of these items or really anything at all, feel free to leave them down below or head on over to Instagram and I'd be happy to help however I can. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate all of your feedback and support. Don't forget that I have a giveaway that's currently live. I will link that video above and in the description box so you can check out the details if you haven't already. If you like this kind of content and you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I post new fashion-related videos every Sunday and Wednesday. So until next time, bye!